सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्।
बरोबर है, चालू करो।
हाँ, थोड़ा इधर चालू करने से ठीक है। My namaskars to you all. We are deliberating on the verses from Srimad Bhagavad Gita from the 9th chapter, Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. We had touched upon the verses numbers 4 and 5 in the last class. So herein what Bhagavan had said about this Rajavidya and this Rajaguhya, as well as what he had said Vijnanam. And this is that knowledge he had explained. I had taken up that aspect, that its importance, its glory, as he has expressed in 2nd and 3rd verse. So here we come to the discussion of what he is exactly trying to say, the crux of that knowledge. What is it? He said this, that by my unmanifested avyakta murti, by my unmanifested form, the form, entity, it exists. Though it is unmanifested, it does not mean it does not have existence. Unmanifested does not mean non-existent. So, manifested and unmanifested, what is the meaning? The meaning is that it is unmanifested, it is not the subject of our experience by our senses as well as our mind. So, it is not gross or subtle matter, not both, not experienced by both of these. So, it is not material, it is Chaitanya. So, Avyakta Murti, unmanifested form, I have covered all of this whole Jagat, Sarvam Jagat. And in this me, so here one point is to be noted. He said that that it is covered by me, maya, by me. In the instrumental case, third case, by this my avyakta unmanifested form, and in this unmanifested sarva bhutani avasthitah, that all beings reside in me and I do not reside in them. This part, as I had said to you earlier, that this is exactly, it is the idea where Bhagavan had left the 12th verse from the 7th chapter. Na tuham teshu te mai. This idea again. And here, continuing that thought, continuing that idea, now building upon that idea, he said, look, so here so far he has said that all beings, all creation exists in me, I do not exist in them, and then again he says, nacha masthani bhutani, and again he is saying, so I have said that all beings, they exist in me, I do not exist in them, and then again he say that these beings, again, they do not exist in me in reality, in the highest sense of the truth. Nacha matsthani bhutani cha, and or also, again, do not think that as if I am some kind of container, so your tendency or somebody's inclination to think God as materials, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is wiping out all those possibilities. All those possibilities. So, that do not think that I am some kind of then container and these beings, they are in me. Do not think it that way. Nacha masthani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram. That this is my yoga. So it is not that kind of thing. Do not try to think in this way. And then he says that bhuta bhunnacha bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavanaha. That my atma, my soul, he is the being residing in all being. Again, first he contradicted one thing, now he is contradicting the other thing. First he said that all beings are in me. Now it is contradicted here that no, they are not in me. And he had said earlier that I do not reside in them. And here he used the word bhutastha, that my soul lives in the being. He has become bhuta bhrunna. He has become all bhuta bhavana. He has become all creation. He is the sustainer of all being. What is the meaning of this contradiction? That is the point. So, what is to be inferred, what is to be understood, what is that knowledge? Now, sometimes you might have experienced this. So, some puzzle, they are so tricky. So, we love to solve puzzles from newspaper or from some puzzle books, etc., etc. And sometimes our textbooks also, like problem solving in math, etc. You can better understand it if you start from the solution itself. If solution is given to you, means as long as it is explained from derived from the problem and going to the solution, it still do not make much sense to you. But after explaining, when you walk back from solution towards the problem, you can better understand it. So here also in this case, तूने वो एसी ऑन किया, मुझे पसीना आ रहा है इधर, ठीक है, पर इधर क्यों ऐसा हाल क्या है? चालू कर So now if we understand this, that what he is referring to, that the divine nature of that entity. So I had referred to this verse earlier and many times, that what is the concept of God in Hinduism? That verse is verse number 6, chapter number 4. So this verse is beautiful and this verse is important because Bhagavan accepts here all three aspects, like Nirgun Nirakara, Sagun Nirakara and Sagun Sakara aspect, as well as Maya. What did he say? Ajopisan Avyayatma Bhutanam Ishwaropisan Prakrutim Swamadhisthaya Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. So Ajopisan Avyayatma, this refers to Nirgun Nirakar Brahman. And there is Sagun Sakar Ishwara. Nirgun Sagun Nirakar Ishwara, which is Bhutanam Ishwaropisan, the second part of the first line, second part of the verse. Prakrutim Swamadhisthaya Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. Sambhavami, I take birth, then it refers to Sagun Sakar Ishwara, like Krishna or Rama, or the one who is born from a mother's womb in flesh and blood. That is Sagun Sakara Ishwara. And the concept of Ishwara, you see, now it is Sagun Nirakara. It is samasti of all souls, as Swami Vivekananda explains it. That is Ishwara. He rules over the whole creation. Brahman itself is Nirakara, so it does not have any vikar. So this is Sagun Nirakara Ishwara. Nirakara, it does not have akara, so it does not have taken any form. Sagun Nirakara. So, but it does have these qualities. It is Saguna, meaning that it is with gunas, it has qualities. But it is not manifested into a form. It takes birth as an incarnation, and then we call it as Sagun Sakara Ishwara. ईश्वर अवतार, ईश्वर का रूप, तो जिसका रूप है तो वो तो कोई होगा विशेष ना. ईश्वर का रूप, incarnation of God. So God must be something from the incarnation. So it is something like a principle and entity as well. So it has qualities, saguna, but yet it does not have any form. It is, and Swami Vivekananda puts it, sum total of all the souls. He is the one. So he mandates the creation. He is unmanifested. And that Ishwar, this whole creation reside within him. He is in everything. He is enveloping everything. And he has become the soul of all. He has become the sustainer of all. And he has become everything. Brahman itself cannot go on into modification, then otherwise its nature itself, there will be violation. That infinite, it cannot have any qualities or anything, any idea of will or creation. It cannot be compared or even considered with respect to Brahman. So with Maya, this whole creation is created. And that Ishwar, that Avyakta Murti, it is entity, Murti, as well as it is Avyakta. So this is the fit description of that Saguna Nirakara Brahman or Ishwara. That Ishwara, that he says that it is covered by me, Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam Jagat Avyakta Murtina. And these all beings reside in me, as well as I am not the container. They do not even reside in me. So it is not like that I reach the age of it and I touch the Ishvara. No, do not consider it physically. I also reside in them as their soul. Bhuta bhunnaja bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavanaha. It has become all beings. So this is the nature of Ishvara, Bhagavan is explaining. And now, henceforward, he is taking several examples so that Arjuna can form the idea of this aspect of the truth. Yathakasha sthito nityam vayuh sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani matsthani iti upadharaya. That he says, he gives here an example, like in Akasha, like in space, as Sarvatra means the one which can go everywhere. Sarvatra go. Mahan, this Mahan who? Vayu, this air. As that air resides in the space, in the Akasha, Nityam, as always. And he says, in the same way, Tatha Sarvani Bhutani, all beings reside in me, Matsthani. Avasthiti, this prayer, this verb is not there, that is to be understood as it is poetry. Not mandatory to mention it always. So here, Yathakasha Sthito, so Sthita describes the verb. Here it is to be considered in the same way, because Bhagavan says, Tatha means in the same way, all beings, Sarvani Bhutani, Sthita Masthani, they reside in me. Iti upadharaya, ityupadharaya, understand in this way. That is the meaning of iti upadharaya. So this is one example given. Like space and air, these two entities, but as if space is not physically demarcating the air, that these are your boundary, you reside in me, in this way, like as if they both are infinite. So Vayu, as it stays in the space, the air stays in space, in this way, all beings, they are in me. So, the point is to be noted that without being attached to it, they are not attached to one another. Here is the 6th verse. So, 7th, Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakrutim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpado Visujamyaham. That he says that my Prakriti Mamikam. So all beings at the end of Kalpa, Kalpakshaye, they yanti, they goes into my Prakriti, that they travel back in my Prakriti, and Punaha, at the end of, at the beginning of the Kalpa, Kalpado, Tani, that all Bhutanis, Sarva Bhutani, Visrujami Aham, that I give birth to them again. So this creation, again and again it evolves and revolves back. It goes back to Prakriti from which it has come forth, and again at the beginning of the creation they comes forth. They goes back to Prakriti and they comes forth from the Prakriti. Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam. Yanti means goes. Mamikam, my Prakriti. Kalpakshay, at the end of Kalpa. Punastani, Punaha. Tani, that Tani means those whom Sarva Bhutani, all beings. Kalpadav, at the Kalpa Adav, at the beginning of the Kalpa. Visrujami Aham, I give birth to them. Here, Prakritim Swam. So, these ideas, as if this knowledge is being imparted to Arjuna. So, what is the ultimate fact of this creation? That what is God, what is Prakriti, what is Ishvara, that is being explained to Arjuna. And he says again that Prakriti, so not to be mistaken that what Prakriti or Ishvara is one and the same. He says, Prakritim swam avashtabhya visrujami punah punah. That avashtabhya, by controlling my Prakriti. Swam means mine. Again and again this word comes that Prakriti is mine, that he is superseding the Prakriti. That avashtabhya, controlling my Prakriti, visrujami, I myself take birth again and again, Arjuna. Visrujami, aham visrujami, I take birth again and again. Not only I give birth to this creation, all beings are created, I also take birth. Visrujami, punah punah, again and again I take birth. Bhuta gramam imam pruthnam avasham prakruter vashat. So, but I take birth. But Bhuta Gramam, that Bhuta Grama, when it is said, means all these elements, all this creation, all these beings, Bhuta Gramam. So whole of this, Krusnam, all of it, he says, Avasham, they are helpless. They do not have this freedom because they are controlled, they are under the control of Prakriti, Prakruter Vashat. They are not free. I am free. I take birth. Not the beings. Not all. So this is the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. So Krishna is making very clear before Arjuna, so do not mistake her. Do not be confused. Know it for sure. This is definitely the case. That there is something Jiva and Bhuta. They are under the control of Prakriti. I am the one who is not under the control of Prakriti. I control Prakriti and I take birth. I supersede over Prakriti. So, now these verses, these 7 and 8 verses, it is not that this knowledge, it has been said earlier in 4th chapter, etc. So these ideas again back to back, it's placed before Arjuna. So there is another part, another aspect of this divinity, what we call God or Ishvara. It starts from this 9th verse. But what we are to be understood from this knowledge? What is to be drawn as conclusion, as inference from this knowledge? How is this supposed to, say for Arjuna or for, say suppose us, affect or influence our thinking and our approach of life? So क्या फिर ऐसा समझना चाहिए कि सब तो प्रकृति के वश में है, मुझे तो कुछ करना नहीं है? तो ऐसा सोचना कि मुझे कुछ करना नहीं है या फिर मुझे ही करना है, ये दोनों ही विचार प्रकृति के ही अधीन है. तुम्हारा आलस्य बोलो या तुम्हारा पुरुषार्थ बोलो, दोनों ही प्रकृति के अधीन है. तो सोचकर विचारपूर्वक आप अपना हर कोई व्यक्ति निर्णय ले. ये जो निर्णय लेने की क्षमता या फिर ये जो स्वातंत्र्य आपको दिख रहा है, देयर इज अ स्कोप ऑफ फ्रीडम व्हाट यू ऑब्जर्व टू मेक अ चॉइस, टू मेक अ डिसीजन, टू एक्ट वन वे और अदर. दिस इज ऑल्सो subject to the freedom provided by the Prakriti itself. It is not ultimate. So what is to infer? How? So what is the idea? So how an individual must look at life? What should be the policy of living this life itself? Because Bhagavan is talking about very fundamental aspects of nature of this creation. What is, how things exactly are. And he is talking about really. That's why it is called as Raja Guhya, the greatest secret, the greatest knowledge, Raja Vidya. So what are we supposed to infer from here? So one is to be now, on the other hand, this Bhagavad Gita itself, he spoke, it speaks about, or Bhagavan himself has spoken earlier, and again he will talk about the highest nature of truth, and as individuals they can realize that oneness with that truth, that you are Ishvara itself, and you are that Brahman itself. You will realize that truth. From the second chapter onward, he has spoken that. Fourth chapter, fifth chapter, Jnana Sannyasa Yoga, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Karma Yoga, then Sankhya Yoga. He has spoken this idea. Now at one point that you can realize that truth, this is the ultimate truth, that nothing exists apart from that one conscious infinite reality. On the other hand, this is, now that is the ideal position. But through Maya, when this creation has come to an existence, now we in this play of Maya, we are individual jivas, beings, and we are subject to Prakriti. We are subject through this Maya, as long as this Maya exists. So far as this dream exists, this Maya exists, this illusion exists, we are jivas, we have limitations. But these limitations, our boundaries of limitations, they can be pushed further to ultimately to infinity. When one realizes his true nature, that Maya is dispelled, that illusion has dispersed, this dream is broken, and he realizes that all throughout that individual realizes that Jiva Brahmaiva na aparaha. That Jiva is nothing but the Brahman only. It is not separate, it is not distinct from it. It was always so. It is realized when that dream is broken. Not until then. But till then, this is the experience, this is the solution towards which we are going to solve our problems out. So in this reality, I am limited, I have limitations, but there is this potential of infinity within me, and I must manifest it slowly, taking steps, such steps which will further this progress, which will work toward my freedom, not toward my adds toward my bondage. So I will make such choices, I will make such decisions. So this is the approach of life. What will bind me? When I will try to clutch on to this apparent self, the false self, that I am this, I am body. But I am the true self. This would be like freedom. So it would be working towards freedom. So I feel myself selfish, that I should covet somebody's wealth, somebody's trample upon somebody's interest, but thinking that it is not necessary. I do not have to covet that. It can only bind me. What it can bring? It can bring me more sensory pleasures, probably more this apparent security of in my mind about my yoga kshema, etc., etc. But knowing, telling myself again and again that I am that pure, untainted, that ever free, self-illumined, that conscious principle only. my selfish interests are to preserve the interest which comes from this apparent self, what we call as body and mind. This will add to bondage. When I say that I am not this body and mind complex, I am that pure self, then I forgo, I let sacrifice the self-interest of this body-mind complex, of this apparent self, of this jiva. What will happen? It will happen that I might have to suffer on this count. I will have to make sacrifices. I will not be probably, very rich. I will not have probably more money. I will not have probably more comfort. I will have might have to face some kind of discomfort and difficult situation. But it will be always furthering, building upon this character underneath. And this is what will work towards the independence and freedom of that individual. That whatever rightfully is to be done, he will do, he or she will do. This ability to sacrifice and ability to let go, tyaga. So this individual, in this way, making his mind purer and purer, untainted, and slowly developing this detachment, this entanglement with this body and mind, he slowly approaches towards that truth. And this is how his mental capacity, and because that mind is getting purer, it is becoming, it is more disciplined, it is not going by his whims and fancies, it is more controlled, it is more focused, it is more sharpened, so its powers are increased, definitely. So with these material sacrifices, there is definitely a gain. This individual only can push those boundaries and slowly work out his freedom. So these limitations, they can be pushed further. You can become greater to the infinite. You can break this dream. You can come out of this illusion. You can dispel this maya. Slowly, that maya, that prakriti, it has kept a way out for you. If you dare to choose it, if you dare to accept it, if you dare to work it out. Accepting this reality as the only truth will make you happy and miserable, and you develop attachment, and there seems to be no way out of it. The way out of it is focusing on this Paramarthik Satya. This is Vyavaharik Satya. That I am Deha Mana Sanyukta Atma, that is Jiva. And I am Shuddha Mukta Buddha Swabhava Atma. This is the Paramarthik Satya. So keeping this in focus on your Vyavaharik plane, on the Vyavaharik Stara, on this pragmatic plane, on this realistic plane, you work it out, you live in such a way that your progress towards this ideal of this Paramarthik Satya is furthered. This is how one is supposed to live. If philosophy is not only intellectual cogitation and only for intellectual satisfaction, if the truth is defined and it is crystallized, you are convinced about it, then you must dare to live by it. That would be the true philosopher or following of a philosophy. To be a Vedantin, therefore, it would be to live by this principle, the inference of the Vedanta. that would be a true darshanik, a true philosopher, but truly believing in the teachings of the Gita or the Vedanta. So Jiva can be, it is Brahman, it can be realized. That individual has to slowly take his steps towards it from where he or she stands. Every individual has his baggage, his or her own baggage of own desires, karma, karma phala, past sanskaras, and therefore tendencies, inclinations, and therefore character. So you will not be able to push it away all of a sudden as soon as you hear something. No. That change has to be brought within, and slowly one has to live that life. Gradually you have to become that. So step by step, bit by bit, one is supposed to bring that change within. Whatever little you can do, how many ever times you might fail, you again build courage within yourself, you again set your focus, you again try to build your own self. So this is the conclusion, this is the inference of this Vedantic truth, or this is the reconciliation of that idealism and the pragmatism. Only becoming theorist, idealist, and having no concern with reality. So Sri Ramakrishna used to call them dry Vedantis. So only argumentation, only talk and noise, and you do not have any hunger, do not have any thirst for the realization of that substance, of that experience. This is useless. And because these talks are too high, so forget about it, do not look at, completely overlook it and live your life as usual. This is also worthless existence. So for an individual who want to tread this path of spiritual life, of spiritual practice, spiritual sadhana, adhyatmic jivan or paramarthik jivan, so both things are under consideration. His reality, where does he or she stands, and the ideal that every one of us are supposed to reach. So here Bhagavan makes these ideas clear, that what is the position, that what is Ishvara, Prakriti and Jiva and the world, of course. Now what Bhagavan is saying is this, that his own position with respect to this this Kshaya and Vistara, what is being taking place. He explains that Nacha mam tani karmani nibadhanti dhananjaya udasinavat asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. What he is saying, that all these karmas are part of the dissolution and evolution of the universe, of the creation. These are karmas, these are action. Here Dhananjaya, here Arjuna, that they do not bind me. No, for sure, nibadhanti, nibadhanti, that no, for certain. They do not bind me, I am not attached to them. Do not consider that these are karmas, that's why I have to suffer some karma phala. Do not understand it that way. That's why Bhagavan is saying this is Raja Guhya. Understand these aspects very clearly. So what is my position? He says, Udasinam, that I am like a neutral. Udasina, which is not one way or other, that is called as Udasina. So generally ये शब्द colloquial भारतीय भाषा में ऐसा समझा जाता है, उदासीन में somewhere somebody who is nirash, who has got that nairashya, कि भाई खुशी नहीं है, सो उदासीन है ना? तो जो तुम्हारे लिए कुछ किया है ना, या फिर जो कुछ भी हुआ उससे वो खुशी नहीं है. So not only he is not happy, but he is not angry or dejected or unhappy or miserable. So both things are not there. That is the position of udasina, or it is called as perfectly neutral. Udasina. And he is saying udasina what? Like udasina. Like udasina. So meaning that he is not actively involved, that he is completely detached from it. It is also not like that. Udasina what? That's why this what means like that, as if I am the udasinam. Udasina what? Asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. In all these actions, I am asakta, I am totally unattached. And I am there asinam, udasina what? As if udasina. I do not have any one way or other affection in my mind which are affecting me to do one way or other. कि मुझे बहुत गुस्सा हो गया, चलो क्रिएशन खत्म कर दो. हाँ तो चलो अभी बहुत बोर हो गए, चलो अभी क्रिएशन चालू कर देते हैं. सो मनुष्य जैसे भाव ईश्वर में नहीं है. उदासीनवत आसीनम asaktam teshu karmasu, and remain unattached by in all these actions. Teshu karmasu. Again maintains the same idea that how does this happen? He says maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Suyate, that is produces, give birth to this chara and achara. Samsara, chara and achara. Samsara, creation, which is movable. Chara means movable, and achara, which is immovable. Immovable, like there are this planet, these mountains are there, and there are chara, which are mobile entities. So maya adhyakshana, that I am the adhyaksha. This is what he says, that I am presiding over it. And Prakriti does this all creation. She gives birth to. Of this whole creation. Hetuna anena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. Anena hetuna, bas by this reason, anena, by this hetuna, by this hetu itself, jagat viparivartate, all these parivartan, what are these changes of dissolution and evolution of this creation, what is happening is just due to that. By reason of my proximity, Prakriti produces all this, the moving and the unmoving. The world wheels round and round, Posona Punti, because of this. So, this is what Bhagavan is saying with respect to this creation, what is his position. That this is the only reason, because this creation comes into existence and dissolves ultimately in the Prakriti. Maya dhakshena Prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. And again, this 11th now verse Again, very similar to the 7th chapter. 7th chapter, if you see the verse number 24 and 25, there it was said, Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhaya param bhavam ajananto mama avyayam anuttamam. That अबुद्धय, जिनको बुद्धि नहीं है, ऐसा शब्द व्यवहार किया है भगवान ने, कि मुझे ये लोग ये अव्यक्त को व्यक्त मानते हैं, अव्यक्तम व्यक्तिम आपन्नम, मुझे अव्यक्त को व्यक्ति समझने लगते हैं. So this is something very remarkable that we must note, that what Bhagavan is saying, that the people who consider me Vyakti, the one who is Avyakta, he says these people are unintelligent, abuddhaya. This is in the 7th chapter he has said that my real higher nature, param bhavam ajananto, that these people do not understand. That Krishna was, many of people at his time was considered as son of Devaki and Vasudeva, etc. So these people do not understand his higher nature. They are only considering him a form, a man born like anybody else. That his real nature of this Sagun Sakar Ishwara also, his real nature is avyayam, and there is no comparison to it, anuttamam, that it is the greatest, and he is that indivisible pure consciousness. Here in the 11th verse in this 9th chapter, Bhagavan again the similar idea. What he is saying, sorry, that was the 24th verse, and there is this 25th verse also. One second. So here in the 25th verse, again he is saying the same thing, that mudho yam na abhijanati, that mudha, that the people who are deluded by this Maya, these people do not know me, na abhijanati, they do not know me very clearly in this world, that in this world who I am born, that I am truly Ajam Avyayam, that I am never born and I am indivisible. I am that. So these are the words that what we can say, that we can infer, that the glory of this Sagun Sakara Ishwar Avatar who takes birth, that even though he has taken birth in the form of a human being, he is always a truly God, Param Bhavam Ajananto. Mama Avyayam Anuttamam, that he is always that great principle which is indivisible. And in this world, Mudho Ayam Na Bhijanati, Loko means in this world, Mam Ajam Avyayam, that I am one who is born in this world, that I am truly that God principle, that these people, Mudha, who was deluded by this Maya, they do not know me. Here in the 11th verse, Bhagavan says it again, that avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum ashritam. So probably whatever he has said in the 7th chapter, if there might have remained any ambiguity, so he is exactly removing that. Like here in the 11th verse, he has used this word tanum ashritam. So there was it was only hinted in the 7th chapter, and here he is making it clear that one, this Manushim Tanum Ashritam, who has born in this body of a human being, Manushim Tanum. Tanum Ashritam, so one who is dwelling in the human form. That these mudhas, these people who are deluded, who cannot think clearly, they do not know me, avajananti, mam, to me, mudha, manushim tanum ashritam, param bhavam ajananto, again he is using the same word, param bhavam ajananto, mama bhutam maheshwaram, that I am the Maheshwara, the great Lord, I am the Ishwara of all beings, I am the Ishwara itself. That these people, they do not know my higher nature. This is my param bhava, this is my higher nature. So, so sometimes Sanskrit language is very beautiful, and you can interpret it to the context sometimes very differently. Now here I will very beautiful example is there. Param bhavam ajananta. ठीक है कि नहीं? So ajananta means the one that you do not know, who this mudha, avajananti. So here he has already said avajananti ma mudha, that they do not know. Mam manushim tanum ashritam, that ashritam, this word can be said, this also can be understood in two ways. Here Maharaj, as he has put it, like referring to the soul living in the, dwelling in the body. But it can very well be interpreted, Tanum Ashritam means in the form of Tanum itself. That he has taken this form, this disguise of a human being. So this is his shelter, this disguise is his shelter. So the one who is born as Sagun Sakara Ishwara, Tanum Ashritam, Manushim Tanum Ashritam. So this mudha, the people who are deluded, they do not know. And then he comes Param Bhavam Ajananto Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. Now Ajananta, again, it means the same thing as Avajananti, that you do not know. But it can be this Sandhi, or it can be this Sandhi Vigraha can be done in different way also. Like Ajananta, I can take this as a verb, or I can take it in a different way, like Param Bhavam Aja Anantaha. I can also read it in this way, that I am Param, this my Bhavam, that Aja, that I am never born, and Ananta, I am infinite. This is who truly I am. I am the great Lord of all beings, Mama Bhuta Maheshwara. So, what would be the meaning? These mudhas, they do not know what? That the one who is born in the form of a human being, and my higher nature, Mama Param Bhavam, Mama, one who is Aja Ananta, one who is never born and always infinite. So contradictory in terms, isn't it? One who is never born and one who is born with in a human form. So yes, exactly this is what Bhagavan is saying. This is absolutely true. That principle which never goes under any modification, that is Aja and Ananta. And the same thing, this is what it was said in that fourth verse of the 6th chapter which I had referred. There Bhagavan is very clearly saying that Ajopi San Avaya Atma, that I am that Avaya Atma which is never born, and Api San, that though it is like that, Bhutanam Ishwaropi San, though I am the Ishwar of all Bhutas, Prakrutim Swam Adhishthaya, residing over my Prakriti, Sambhavami Atma Mayaya, I take birth through my Maya. Here Bhagavan is saying that I am though the Maheshwara, I am Aja Ananta, that is my real nature, and though who I am born in the form of a human being, that Mudha do not understand me, Avajananti. This is what Bhagavan is saying. This is Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. This Arjuna, see my Aishwarya, the glory of my yoga. This is what God is like. So here these verses are greatly philosophical, dealing absolutely with the truth verses until verse number 11. And here onward also we will again see reflections from the 7th chapter. So we will take break here. So these verses, they are so point blank on truth. There is no much narration to be done. Like the absolute nuggets of truth laid down into words. These are these from verse number 4 to verse number 11. So we will stop here and we will continue from verse number 12 in the next class. However, next 2 Sundays there will not be class because there will be different lectures organized, series of lectures organized on account of the centenary celebration of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission Mumbai. So from 28th to 25th there will be Ramcharitmanas, and from which Swami Sukhanandaji Maharaj, he is now head of center in Bhuj, he would be delivering those series of lectures, especially on the Hanumat Prasanga or the life and character of Hanumat, those episodes dealing with Srimad Hanumanji. And the next Sunday, which happens to be probably 29th or 30th.
No, 20th and 30th.
So 30th is the Sunday. So on that Sunday there would be a talk. 28th and 30th, 29th is Ekadashi. So Swami Satyamayananda, he is the minister in charge of our center in Seattle, USA. Swami Satyamayananda, he would be coming, he would be delivering the talks on this 28th and 30th July. So 30th July happened to be Sunday. So this 30th and 23rd, both these Sundays, there would not be Gita class, but there would be other lectures. So you, your friends and family, they are all welcome. So alright. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. For Advaita Vedantis, it it is very difficult to comment